So coming to the other investigations, X-ray test for the evidence of cardiomegaly, ECG to see is there any arrhythmias or prolonged PR interval, echo to know the other finer aspects of the carditis like regurgitation, mitral or aortic. So Doppler to study the flow very precisely, blood culture to know whether is there any associated endocarditis, and catheterization studies to establish the correct cardiac uh, involvement. So here is the X-ray. You can see the cardiomegaly with the increased vascular markings. So this is a carditis. Probably child is in rheumatic carditis with failure when there is a increased shadow on either side of the heart. So it suggests it is in failure. And this is after treatment. So there is a clearance, size is decreased. Okay. So ECG, that's one of the minor investigation. That's a minor criteria. We look for prolonged PR intervals or any type of blocks like second degree or third degree. Sometimes ST depression and T wave inversion. Echocardiography. So valve edema, mitral regurgitation, that is left atria and left ventricle dilatation, pericardial effusion and decreased contractibility. These finer aspect of the carditis can be known better with the 2D echo. Coming to the management, when the child comes with acute rheumatic fever, the main thing is bed rest. And to eliminate the streptococci from the throat, we have to give antibiotic. Then, because it is a non-suppurative inflammation following the streptococcal infection, we have to use anti-inflammatory treatment. And if there is a congestive cardiac failure, treatment has to be established for failure. If there is a chorea, treatment to be given to reduce the chorea. And very importantly, recurrences to be prevented. We'll discuss later. And if there is any damage in the heart, surgical intervention is required either during acute or during chronic course. So, depending upon the clinical manifestation, if the child comes with arthritis, bed rest, aspirin only for 4 to 6 weeks to be given. But recently they only 4 to 6 weeks and local measures, but it's pain to reduce the pain. So carditis alone, no cardiac enlargement, aspirin only. If there is a carditis with mild cardiomegaly, then also aspirin is given. If there is a failure in addition to carditis, aspirin plus steroid and decongestive measures. Please remember, aspirin just for carditis and even for cardiomegaly. But in addition, if there is a failure, you have to add steroid in addition to aspirin. Of course, bed rest, low sodium diet. Pseudomonas chorea, when come to the treatment, anti-inflammatory agents usually not required because it is a late manifestation. So aspirin or steroid not required. Only thing is, to control the chorea, you have to use either phenobarbital, haloperidol or chlorpromazine. In the doses mentioned here, you please copy that. So prevention in rheumatic fever is primordial. That means see that infection does not occur. Vaccine, we have not achieved that goal yet. We don't have vaccine for streptococcal infection. But thing is good hygiene, avoiding overcrowding, and when there is the good nutrition so that the infection rate will come down. Then primary prevention. That means whenever the child gets throat infection, promptly that has to be identified and treated so that child will not go for further complication like acute rheumatic fever. Secondary, think that child has developed rheumatic fever, but in the subsequent throat infection with the streptococci, there may be a recurrence of the rheumatic fever that has to be avoided by giving chemoprophylaxis. And tertiary, treating established rheumatic heart disease. That is a fourth stage. Okay, like that, these are the different phases of prevention. So primary prophylaxis, what do you give primary prophylaxis? That is, when there is a sore throat, you have to treat either with penicillin or procaine penicillin, IM or benzathine penicillin, even one dose is enough, and oral erythromycin. Then primary prophylaxis that will continue. Vulnerable children up to 5 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So these are the dosages used for these are the different drugs, dosages given, and all those for all those medicines 10 days course is required except azithromycin, so maximum 5 days. So parenteral, if it is less than 27 kg, so 6 lakh international units, so 6 lakh units is enough. If it is more than 27 kg, so 12 lakhs units are required. One single dose, benzathine penicillin, okay, IM. That is even for primary prophylaxis. Those who don't take oral, so this is an ideal. Every 3 weeks you have to give primary. This is the primary, so one dose, primary prophylaxis, sorry. So coming to the secondary prophylaxis, where the child already experienced acute traumatic fever. Here in the secondary prophylaxis, we have to avoid the recurrences of the streptococcal infection, so that the recurrence of the rheumatic fever will not occur. Here you have to give benzathine penicillin once in 3 weeks intramuscularly, or oral penicillin daily, or erythromycin or sulfadoxine. Better either benzathine penicillin or oral penicillin or erythromycin. So this is the table you see is the antibiotic benzathine penicillin dose is 12 lakhs every third week. If the child is more than 27 kg, if this is less than 26 units every third week. Penicillin B, that is a oral tablet, 250 milligram BD daily, and if it is erythromycin, 250 milligram BD daily, and sulfadoxine. So usually we don't prescribe, and so you can you need not give importance to sulfadoxine. How long to give? If there is no carditis, just acute rheumatic fever, you give it for 5 days from the last episode, or till the child reaches the age of 21 years. If there is an associated carditis, but no residual RHD, only carditis, no rheumatic heart disease, give it for 10 years from last episode, or till the person attains the age of 25 years. If there is an established rheumatic heart disease, then you give it for 10 years from the last episode, or till 40 years, or sometimes even lifelong. New modes of treatment. So, and I don't want to discuss these things for undergraduate level. And so, is it rheumatic fever? So this is the big dilemma for an youngster when the child comes with, is it a rheumatic fever or not? Because unless you are aware that rheumatic fever follows the infection of streptococcal sore throat. So first, so if there is a sore throat and the other manifestations subsequently, like joints involvement, then you first have to rule out in the age group of 5 to 15 years rheumatic fever. So thank you.